Hello all you vandals out there. Johnny Alpha from Graphic Vandalism back with a new video. And in this video, I'm going to show you 5 Wolverine comics I find completely underrated. They are also some of my favorite Wolverine comics ever. But before I get into this list, I'd like to state this video is a tribute to Hugh Jackman. With Logan's release, it will be the 9th and final appearance of Jackman as the character in live action, and that really is a very iconic run. It's also celebratory as Hugh has just survived cancer for the 6th time. So, without further ado, thanks Hugh. Alright, now on to the list. First up at number 5, we have Get Mystique, written by Jason Aaron with art by Ron Garney. And the story for this one takes place after the events of Messiah Complex, where we find that Cyclops has given Wolverine a kill order for Mystique due to all the horrible acts she committed during that event. And Wolverine tracks Mystique to the Middle East, where she is hiding out and wreaking havoc. The two then play a very violent and deadly game of cat and mouse, taking place in a region torn by war and insurrection. The two's final showdown is a thing of Wolverine Comics legend. It is a very brutal and amazing action set piece that needs to be seen to be believed. And another thing this book really has going for it is it's set during the period when Wolverine could actually remember his past. So this whole conflict is cut with this really awesome flashback story all about when Wolverine first met Mystique during the turn of the century and how they had a team pulling cons. That really gives this book kind of a George Roy Hill movie kind of feeling, a la movies like The Sting and Butch Cassidy, while we see Mystique's duplicity is timeless. Get Mystique is a very bold and jaw-dropping early Marvel effort from Jason Aaron, where he delivers a collision course showdown for the ages, and Garney's art is just stellar, full of clear, unadulterated action and mayhem. Okay, let's keep it moving, and at number 4, we have Wrath, written and illustrated by Richard Isanove. Wrath is a Prohibition-era bootlegger noir masterpiece that completely lives up to its name. The story for this one finds Wolverine running booze from Canada with a friend who is like a father figure to him. When a bigger outfit learns of their operation, they come with violence and kill Wolverine's friend and take his youngest daughter to turn her out. This truly is the worst mistake they could ever make, as it sends Logan into full berserker mode, and the rest of this story is a very bloody revenge-fueled tale that finds Wolverine seeking justice while trying to protect the rest of his friend's family from corrupt cops, this mafia outfit, and other maladies of that era. And this story arc is a very prime example of why the Savage Wolverine series was so exceptional. While his main series at the time saw him completely neutered and on death's door, it was very liberating to see a series that chronicled the odd and very bloody chapters from Wolverine's timeline. And Richard Isanove's tale of bloody revenge is bewildering to say the least, and it reads like what you'd get if Steinbeck wrote a noir thriller with superpowers, if you can even imagine such a thing. And it showcases artwork that looks like it came from a very disturbed Norman Rockwell, full of beautifully rendered gory action scenes. Okay, how about a little Marvel Knights action? Sound good? Cool. Okay then, that brings us to number 3, Logan, written by Brian K. Vaughan and art by Eduardo Rizzo. And with Logan, I get to see 2 of my favorite comic creators ever come together to tell kind of a simple but a very beautiful Wolverine story that blends a tragic tale with an action-packed powerhouse of a showdown, full of love lost and bitter memories. In the story for Logan, we see Wolverine return to Japan and retrace some of his old footsteps. Well, he runs across an old foe he thought long dead. We then get treated to an epic brawl, cut with flashback scenes to World War II that explains who this old enemy is and why their bad blood is so thick, as it's another harrowing tale of how one of Logan's loves was taken from him savagely. And I have to say, I really love the straightforward and almost simple style to this book, as it's mostly just a huge fight scene cut with flashbacks to add context to the fight and why it's happening. I also love how this doesn't pretend to be some epic, all-encompassing event in Logan's life like Origins did, but is just a very fun yet tragic lost chapter in it. And Brian K. Vaughan pulls no punches here, and he gives us a very rich, emotional, action-packed brawl. And Eduardo Rizzo is one of my favorite artists working in comics, and in this book his art just sings. So, now it's time for some killer team-up action. At number 2, we have X-Force, Sex and Violence, written by the amazing team of Craig Kyle and Christopher Yost, and art by Gabriel Del Arto. Sex and Violence is a very gory and badass goodbye love letter from Kyle and Yost to the fans of their run on X-Force. As the run of their book dissolved after Second Coming, this goodbye miniseries does not disappoint though, as it's packed with all the blood and guts that made their run so controversial, and we get a story that is all killer and no filler with this one. And this one starts off with Domino showing up at the X-Force base, all shot up and looking to be healed by Elixir. When Wolverine finds out, he gets fully involved because he knows that even though Dom is a vixen with the power of luck manipulation, she's also a trouble magnet. And Dom and Wolverine go to war with the Assassin's Guild. Meanwhile, the Hand are also making a move, so this makes it a three-way epic battle, where limbs are lost and lots of villains die. We also get really sweet cameos from the rest of the XForce team. This book very much lives up to its name, as there are tons of violence in it, and a fair amount of sex as well. As we get to see Wolverine straight up murder assassins in full gory details, we also get some very gruesome images of Wolverine missing half his face. If you like your Wolverine books bloody and messy, then you'll love this one. Kyle and Yost are one of the greatest writing teams to ever grace a more modern X book, and this is more than proof of that. And Doloto's art is very vivid, lush, and cinematic. Well, here we are at number 1, and man, is it a good one. Schnicked by Satomu Nihei. Now, this book is very special to me for many reasons. Not only did it get me back to being a fan of Wolverines, it also introduced me to one of my favorite Japanese manga creators, Satomu Nihei. And Schnicked is a time-jumping cyberpunk horror sci-fi juggernaut about Wolverine being pulled through time to a bleak and desolate future, where the human and mutant races have been brought to near extinction. Wolverine is then told of a mutant race of robots and AI known as the Mandates, and the Mandates can only be killed by adamantium. Since Wolverine is the best at what he does, he buckles in and prepares to fight for a future he never knew. And it's mutant race versus mutant machine, and only one can claim the future. And this is a book I kind of always wanted to see as a movie. And the way Nihei draws Wolverine, I thought that Jackman would be perfect for the role, and Sion Sono as the director would be so rad. I really do like the mutants from the future in this book. I find them quite compelling, and I'd love to see them again. That is, if Nihei was ever up to doing a follow-up. And Satomu Nihei brings his own style of cyberpunk sci-fi horror that made him so famous in Japan to this book, and he creates one hell of a futuristic thrill ride, and his art is always so on point, even if it is kind of weird seeing it all in full color for the first time, because it's usually in black and white in his mangas. Well, there you have it, Vandals. My top 5 picks for underrated Wolverine books. And I have to say, I'm very excited to see Logan this Friday, so I'm really looking forward to that. And go ahead and let me know what you think of this video in the comments below, and let me know if I missed one of your favorite books or something that you think is really underrated of Wolverines. And maybe I might revisit this and do another video if I get some awesome recommendations. So yeah, that'd be cool. And this is Johnny Alpha from Graphic Vandalism saying, I am the best at what I do, and what I do is pointing out underrated greatness.